how do you go about finding your literary agent, or do you find an editor first and then a literary agent?
For me, we moved a lot, so I couldn't get a critique group. I would try to find critique partners and whatnot, and you know, every time we moved, they were established already, so it was really difficult to find one. And we kept, as soon as I found one, we moved, so it was difficult. So finally, my husband became my critique partner, and he's an officer in the Army, so he doesn't sugarcoat anything. You know, he'll tell me straight up the way it is. So I like that. That helped my manuscript a lot to put it in shape. And after I felt, like I said, I went to a lot of conferences to get feedback, and from there, you know, I kept shaping it. And then I was lucky to have participated in 2 mentorship programs. So I had a mentor in Colorado who, it was through SCBWI as well, and then I had another one here in Houston. And both of them were tremendous. They would read my manuscript and give me feedback. So that even guided the manuscript into shape. And after that, I had one beta reader read one part of the story, and she's the one that gave it her blessing. Laura Riesel, she's an author, a children's book author as well. Great author. And she gave it her blessing, and then that's when I send it over to Joan Paquette at Erin Murphy. I had met Joan 3 years before, and she and I stayed in touch, and I submitted to her when I thought it was ready, and there was December of 2019. So you can imagine, you know, everything's happy days, you know, in 2019, and little did we know things were about to change a lot. So that's when I submitted it to Joan. And then she bought it within a month. You know, she read it, and we signed the contract in December.
And you met her originally at a conference?
I met her, yeah, I'd heard from some friends that she was really, really good. So I made it a point to find her and meet her. So back in the day, VonnaCarter.com, she had a website that would list different conferences and where agents would be at and whatnot. So I was, oh my goodness, I was hooked on that website. So I followed different agents, and Joan Paquette was one of them. She had a conference coming up. This was in 2016 in Maine. It's called Agents and Editors, I believe, or Editors and Agents and Editors. It's in Maine. It's a small conference. So that's what I liked about it. It's very intimate, and you get to spend, I think it's half a day with an agent. When you're with other 5 writers, but it's very intimate because you get to talk to them a lot, and they give you feedback right away on the first 20-25 pages of your manuscript, and we connected then and there, and we're in touch with each other ever since.
And so how do you stay in touch without being awkward? What does that look like?
Yeah, no, I would email her, you know, because I didn't want her to forget me. You know, it was taking me so long. So during holidays, hey, how's it going? You know, hope you're having a Merry Christmas. I'm still working on it, you know. Or if I had an award or something, I would email her and say, hey, I got this award, you know, for the novel, you know, just, you know, FYI. So she was really sweet. She would reply, oh, great, you know, I'm looking forward to it and whatnot. So just to keep that communication open.
Gotcha. And so when you finally send it to her, she says, yes, this is the book I've always been waiting for. Let's do this immediately. Or is there a period of waiting? And she says, hey, let's do a few revisions. How does that look? What does that look like?
She said, yeah, there's some little things that I want to revise. You know, it shouldn't be much. So we did a little bit of revisions, which took about a month, I'd say. So come February, that's 2020, that's when she said, okay, are you ready? Are you set? And I said, yeah, let's do it. You know, it was mid-February, and off it went to the world, to 12 editors. And of course, that's when COVID just slammed New York City. So, you know, I'm like, my luck, you know, I wait all these years. The month that goes out, that's the one that everything comes down, of course. But so it was hard to get back feedback or phone calls from any of the editors because they were all gone. All the offices were shut, and nobody was getting back to anybody. And so, but Source Books, Molly Kusek is the one that responded and said, yes, you know, she was interested. So I said, okay, there's one person. And finally, the other editor started coming back and saying, no, not right now. We already have somebody else. We have something similar. Everyone came back with that. And I believe Scholastic came back saying they were very interested. And I believe it went to 2 other rounds and it was approved. And finally, for the third one, I think they had to say no because of the layoffs that were starting to happen in Scholastic. And they didn't want to take, new writers at that time. It was uncertain times, uncertain times for everybody. So it broke my heart at the time because Scholastic, I grew up seeing the big Scholastic sign at book fairs and whatnot. But I think the universe lines up for a reason. All the plans line up for a reason. And I am so excited that I ended up with Source Books, and because Molly was just a wonder to work with, and I couldn't have asked for a better editor. She had such a passion for that story, and I love that. We fed off each other. The ideas and that same passion just was wonderful. And then the rest of the team, oh my goodness, I was just blown away by the marketing team, the art department, and it's a wonderful publishing house. And I count my lucky stars that I ended up there.
And another shameless plug: Molly Cusick was on here for episode 32, and I'll put a little extra incentive. That was relatively early on in the run of this show, and I was learning on the job as we go. I think I asked Molly at least 2 awkward questions that I haven't asked any editor since, because Molly was good enough to give me a reason why I should not ask such awkward questions. So well worth your time, esteemed audience. You're going to hear a phenomenal editor. You're going to hear me put my foot in my mouth. What a wonderful time. Episode 32. Episode 32 for her, episode 64 for Avi. But my God, tonight, Alda P. Dobbs, my cup runneth over. The left continues.
Great. No, I remember doing. I had seen Molly before in her show, and I remember when I saw her name, I'm like, I remember that episode. So I had to go back and rewatch it. I saw that one probably like 10 times in one day. And I was like,
did he really just ask that? Oh my gosh, why do they let him do this?
It's great. You did a great job.